see if I can get her on. Hi, sweetheart.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Can you see me?
Okay. Hello?
Hi, can you see me?
Yeah, I see you.
Hi,
Can you see me
Kim.
all right?
Yes, how about yourself?
And I gotta turn you up. Let's see.
Okay.
I'm trying
Let me
to.
just adjust my camera too. All
Okay.
right. Guys, I'm so excited. This is my best friend and also my personal reader, Kimberly Cooley. And I want to just talk about, before you start, introducing yourself and everything, how we met. So this is, I don't think I've ever told Kim exactly how I met her or how I found her. But I was on Etsy one day and I said, I want to get a reading for myself. I've talked about this before, spoken about it. How, hi guys, that, I want, people that are readers, sometimes we can't read ourselves. Yes, we can use tarot. Yes, we can use oracle cards. And yes, we can read ourselves in that sense. But sometimes it can be biased because, we're kind of picking up our own energies and maybe we're second guessing ourselves. And so I thought, let me go ahead and check Etsy out. And after a bad experience at Etsy, I was about to give up. And then I found her and then she read for me. And I was so
Yeah.
blown away, Kim, by your reading. I was like, who is this girl? She is amazing. She just,
Aw.
you pick up on things. And I think you combine your own spiritual gifts with the tarot and with the oracle cards. And it makes for a very pleasant experience. And yeah, every reading because I get monthly readings from Kim, um, I just enjoy it. Her voice is so soothing. It's relaxing. She records the videos. And so, yeah, I'm probably rambling now. So Kim, please go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are, where, etc.
Well, thank you for that. It's awesome being your reader. You make it
Thank you.
fun. You make it easy for me.
Aw.
I am Kim Cooley of Abundant Life Tarot. On Etsy, it's Abundant Life Shop. And I specialize in love readings. I specialize in abundance readings, but not abundance like, oh, I want to be a wealthy person, but more like I want a much more fulfilled and happy life. Abundance in that way. So I'm happy you found me on Etsy because you just,
Yes.
when you have a shop on Etsy, everyone kind of comes through the door and you don't know who's going to come. But I've been so blessed to have people like you
Aw.
who I resonate with and vibe with come through. And we just built that connection and that bond. And we've been doing this monthly thing for a while now. I love that.
I
I
love it
love doing
too.
monthly readings for people, like
The
a
one
little
thing that
monthly
comes
forecast.
across is that you come across like a sister, like an older sister. It doesn't come across like, like you make it very personable and pleasant. So the connection is easy and it's just it's perfect. Some readers have this tendency to kind of read for you, but you don't feel that connection with the reader, or you feel kind of like maybe they're judging you in some kind of way, and I don't feel that way with you. And I think a lot of you that would give Kim a chance to read for you, you would find that her technique is so different than what you would probably experience with tarot readers, because I've been to many tarot readers in my time, in person and
Me
also
too.
faced, virtually online. So yeah, I definitely recommend Kim. Sorry, Kim, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I know it's yeah, yes, yeah, virtual tarot reading. And not everyone resonates with virtual tarot reading too, and not everyone can do video readings or distance readings. So there's that. I guess you would have to be in alignment with that vibe, but I enjoy it. I've had many readings too from people from different styles, face to face, and I tend to like video readings myself. What about you? Do you prefer face-to-face readings or
I prefer
um,
online, and that's how I do my readings. I do them all online. I don't do face to face or in person. But now I'm starting to kind of get into the face to face, like when I do lives on YouTube or lives here on Instagram, I'm starting to do face to face. I think it's good, but for me, the way that my gift works, I get kind of, sometimes sidetracked with so many energies, or you could find somebody in front of you and they're looking at you, and it's like very intense connection, that you get just kind
Yes.
of lost in that energy. And so for me, it's like I like to have a photograph and just read off a photograph. And for you, like when you've done readings for me, all I do is send you my questions and, maybe a photograph if Kim asks for one, and then she'll read for you. And you'll be blown away. She does it on her, like a pre-recorded video, but you get to see the layout of her spread and everything. And she explains every single card, in depth. You do that. And so I'm just telling the public so they know what to expect. It's really a divine experience. And I really, really enjoy the different decks that you use, because I know that you don't just like work with one deck. You always have like, how many decks do you have, Kim?
I am a card slinger. I love slinging lots of cards. I love lots of them talking together, I like to say. I have about 70 Oracle
Oh my God.
and about 40 Tarot.
Yeah.
I'm a little more picky on my tarot decks.
Yes.
My Oracle, I'm like, ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like that. It's like this, ooh, this and that. And now I have to slow down because, you
It
got
takes
to
up
be
a
able to
lot of
store
space.
these things.
After you get so many, they take up a lot of space, and then you're like, well, which one do I want to use? Because some of them you have to put them. I have maybe about 40 decks altogether, and that's not including maybe
number.
About 12 or 20 that I've given away to personal friends, because
Yeah.
I had to get away. I was like, if I don't give this away, I'm gonna become one of those hoarders of tarot cards and oracle cards. For me, I love and I enjoy oracle cards more than tarot cards. I'm not saying that I can't connect with tarot cards. I like the Rider-Waite tarot, but I find that after years of work, because I've been using cards to read myself for years, but understanding the meaning of a lot of the tarot cards, to me, it's very difficult compared to the oracle cards. I feel like oracle cards sometimes are easier to understand and to read. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I think many people come to tarot first and then go to oracle. I came to the tarot through oracle, so that's probably why my collection, my little hoard, is so big with the oracle.
You need to do a video
Because
on
I
your
found
YouTube
it.
channel, showing us like those celebrities, how they show like their house, or like in Vogue. You need to show do a video of all your decks, like, so that we could all see them.
Oh yeah,
a tour
I gotta.
of Kim's.
Yeah, to be my hiding spaces. I have like, okay, over here in this little cranny right here. There's some over here and over here. Hiding from my husband right over here. Yeah, I will definitely on the YouTube channel do that. But I agree about the oracle. I think that, especially for those who are starting out too, with playing with cards, it's more accessible. It's not a structured system like the tarot is, like the Rider-Waite Smith, or even the Thoth or whatever. It's not structured. Each oracle deck has its own system, and so it just makes it more accessible. It was less intimidating for me to approach oracle first.
Me
and
too.
Then approach the tarot.
Preach
after
it, girl.
that.
Preach it. When it comes to like oracle cards, to me, it's just so much easier. But I love the Rider-Waite. I also like some of the other tarot decks. There's like the Witch's tarot deck, Spellcaster's tarot deck. I'm trying to remember like all the names of all of them. But the ones that I'm working with personally now, like doing live readings and stuff, is like John Holland's. I love all of John Holland's tarot cards. The Heart of the Oracle tarot cards. I believe it's called something like that. And then the Psychic tarot cards. And then Kim introduced me into, hi, Madam Pamita. Lots of love to her, a fellow YouTuber and also tarot reader. And then we also, you introduced me into the Bohemian Tarot. I love that one because it's so Gothic-like, and it explains like a lot. The depictions are very deep to me. And I've also started working now with some of the oracle cards, like the Moon Goddess, I believe, or the Moon Oracle I think you
Yeah.
had that on your channel recently. It's like a new deck that was released.
Yes.
But I like them. And then I got the empathic oracle cards. You were showcasing them on a video this week. In fact, I just got those today, and I was looking at them, and I love them. I love them completely.
Yeah. I love them too. I love the simplistic. I don't have them here. Dang, they're upstairs in one of my hiding spots. Um, they are the stock of them. I love the way they shuffle. The
Yes.
empathic oracle,
Yes,
and I
they're
love the
so
simple
smooth.
art.
They're so smooth. They don't stick together because some of these
No,
oracle cards, sometimes they're kind of thin and glossy and they stick together and it makes hard to shuffle. But I noticed like they were like smooth like butter with those
yeah.
empathic oracle cards. I really, really enjoyed them. What would you say is like the most expensive tarot card that you have deck?
Let's see. I would say it's well, okay. I pre-ordered the I pre-ordered the Bone Stone and Earth Flesh Tarot by Avalon.
Ooh, I need to get those.
Avalon Cameron. I'll have to
Send me
she's
those
doing like she
links.
didn't do like a Kickstarter.
Uh-huh.
She did more like an Etsy, everyone pool in their money and she's going to create this deck. And so
Oh,
with
okay.
the shipping cost, it was so expensive because it's coming from Australia.
Oh, she's from
To
Australia.
me, it's expensive. It was like $112
Oh,
total,
yeah.
which is to
Oh,
me
wow.
in my world expensive. I know there's like $500 tarot decks, but
I haven't seen
yeah,
those. I haven't seen those. The most expensive that I have, I think they were from I think they were the Bohemian Tarot, the Bohemian deck. They were like up in the 50s and they came from Ireland, right? I believe it was from Ireland. Um
yeah, the
but
Baba
yeah,
Studios.
there's so many decks, so many, and I that's the one thing that I love about your channel is that you always are introducing and doing hauls or unwrapping of the cards, the new cards that you've gotten. So I've learned a lot of those decks from you. I also go through Etsy sometimes and just type in tarot decks, and there's a lot of independent people that create their own cards. And it's just it's amazing what they do, and they put their personal touch to it. There's also the
I know.
Hermetic order or the Hermetic cards, tarot cards. I kind of like those as well. But there's just so many. It's like, girl, I have to watch myself because I'm on a budget every time I go shopping for cards. I'm like, I want this deck, this deck, this deck. I'll take that one too.
Yes, I know. 2017 was rough on my pocketbook with the
Yes.
deck spending. Yeah, for sure. 2018 to 2019, I slowed down. I
Yeah.
have slowed down quite a bit.
So have I. I'm
But
like,
I have so many.
yeah, after a while, like you love all the decks, but after a while, you kind of develop a certain bond with one or two or
Yeah,
three decks, and those are like your go-to ones. And ever so once in a while, you mix it up. At least that's what I do, like for myself. Like when I read myself, it's like this, and this. Or now that I'm reading people with decks, online, it helps a lot to kind of switch it up. And I like something that you do with your techniques and your readings is that you use sometimes two decks or three and you combine them and kind of show the contrast, or if there's like a second edition or a second release. There's a lot of people that publish these cards, sometimes they actually publish like a new version of them, an updated version. And I know, like you've told me, like this is the old, this is the new, and this is how you kind of break it all down and give me the tea from spirit. And I'm like, girl, you just are so spot on. I get chills. It's crazy. I guess the one question that I wanted to ask you, when did you first realize like you were into tarot and oracle readings, and like when did you own your first deck? Like when did you all get started? Like how old were you?
let's see. Well, I have received readings like throughout my entire life, but it wasn't until recently, I would say like in 2016, January 2016, my middle child was in a severe car accident. And
Oh my God.
so he was in the hospital and I just needed some quick guidance. It was a lot of not pub it was a public affair because California Highway Patrol was involved in the matter.
Uh-huh.
And it was a DUI and it was like they were chasing in a residential neighborhood. So it was very like if I wasn't in the hospital with him,
Mm-hmm.
I was like tucked in my parents' house just trying to not deal. And so I kind of shut down, but I needed help with basic questions. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time to go get a reading, but I bet you I could do my own readings. I bet you
Yeah.
I could just ask a few questions to see what happens. And I just went on Amazon in the hospital and just ordered a deck. And
Wow.
the deck came. I would ask questions like each morning, the doctors would do their rounds, ask questions
Mm-hmm.
of me as his parent on what to do, what procedures should we do for him while he's in the hospital. And I would consult the cards. I'd be like, I need to think about this. And I
Yes.
consult the cards. There are some cards, Oracle. And I would do a ton of readings for myself. And then he got better as time went on. And I just fell more and more in love with card reading. And I started looking at YouTube and finding this whole world of teachers out there reading hella books. And I said, Oracle wasn't able to answer certain questions that I would have. Like I
Right.
knew tarot, I was a little intimidated by tarot, and um, I knew that it would probably be it's time. So I just went ahead and ordered an easy tarot kit. It came like you know how Amazon do, and then I just poured over tarot, just like all I could do was take pictures of it and talk about it all the time. So I started professionally reading like a little less than 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a nonstop love affair,
Yes.
nonstop.
Yes, you're one of the most sought after psychics, psychic tarot readers on Etsy and just on your through YouTube, because I've noticed that a lot of your channel's grown already. It's grown and grown, grown. This is the one thing that I was talking about the other day to a friend. I was looking at a post that I made about 2 years, a year ago, and I was like around this time a year ago, I had 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and then in fast forward until now it's grown so much, and yours is doing the same thing. And I really, really suspect that that your channel is going to just continue to grow. I love a lot of what we'll get into that in a minute. I'm jumping ahead, but I know that you offer certain packages and things like that, and we'll get into that. But I love what you're doing and how you are so dedicated. And that's the one thing that a lot of people ask me about doing the psychic work. So I've been doing this for about professionally about 6 years now, but prior to that, I was doing it, I've had the gift since the childhood. So I was always reading people or reading energy. But one of the things that people always ask me is like, how did you get so successful, or how did you build a clientele base and so fast? And the answer to that is that you have to be consistent. Consistency is key. You also have to love it and not see it as kind of like a job, but kind of see it as, it is something that makes you happy. And for me,
True.
it makes me happy to provide closure and healing to people, which is the same thing I would suspect with you. Like I feel like when I come to you, it's usually in a time of need or needing some kind of clarity, or I have anxiety, and you always like provide healing through your readings. And that's the one element I feel like a lot of us that are, that read with cards or read, we don't really classify ourselves as healers, but in
Mhm.
essence, I really feel like we are healers, because what we're doing is providing healing through the
Yeah,
use of tarot cards or oracle cards, and people just don't
for
get
sure.
that. I think that a lot of people see it as kind of like divining the future, and that's all we do, and it's not the case. Like, the cards can show you the past, the present, and the future, but they can also show you in the in betweens.
Yes.
That's the one thing I've learned from you, watching how you read for me. It shows you always go and show me like other angles and perspectives that I personally wouldn't have been able to like pick up on. So yeah, I love that. And I guess like I also was going to ask you like, um, this path that you've been on, like, has it been difficult for you? Because I know that everybody's journey is different, being a reader, but putting yourself out there, were you fully accepted by a lot of people? Did you encounter any resistance on this path? And how did you address that? Like, how did you cope with that?
Oh, that's a great question because yes, my parents are from Mississippi. Both of my parents were born and raised there, and that's in the the South
Bible Belt,
of the United
girl.
States, deep, deep.
South Texas, I can tell
So,
you, I know.
so you could just imagine, like, my dad is from a family of like, I think 12 siblings, and there's preachers and pastors and
Hi,
deacons
Claire
all
Bear.
throughout his side of the family. And my mom's side of the family, they're a little more loose and accepting of me, but I'm sure that there's a lot of judging going on, but they don't really say anything. I used to hide it. I used to like um, I keep my Facebook separate. There was the Kimberly Cooley over here with her, her regular life, and then there's Abundant Life Tarot over here.
Yes.
And over time, it was just like, I am tired of, having to wear two different masks or to be two different people. And I wasn't two different people, but just having to try to accommodate to make other people happy or comfortable
Catering
in
to
their life. And I
everybody.
just Exactly. Living for everyone else instead of living for me. And so I just stopped. I was just like, I'm not gonna be all up in your face with it, but I'm gonna do me as well. So people have been really cool. I mean, I live in California, so that automatically kind of lends itself to a much more free environment for the kind of work that I do. I mean, we're a dime a dozen out here.
Yes.
But but I worried a lot about acceptance from my family. And at the end of the day, though, I just got fed up with being even worried with that. And also, I worked for an insurance company for many years. So that's a conservative industry. I have many years in that industry, so I worried about that. But even after that, I was just like, I cannot wear two masks. And my coworkers they would get readings from me. They
Yeah.
totally like loved it. My bosses were like, well, what do the cards say? Like they
I love
totally
it.
embraced me. I really had nothing to worry about if I think back about it,
Yeah.
but you worry about
I
those
love
things
that you
for sure.
covered that because you were reading, like channeling or reading my mind just now. That's what I was going to ask you, like, because I know that you had a very conservative type of job in an office environment, and I was wondering, like, were they accepting? Because there are certain people that are not accepting of it, or they're like, ha ha, there comes the gypsy, or the fortune teller, etc. And we're labeled, like I have encountered on this path a lot of resistance, but just like you, I think you said it so eloquently, and so you put it in a very good perspective so that all of our viewers can understand this, that when I first started this journey, I too was in the closet. I was wearing like two different masks. Like I didn't want anyone to know, any of my friends or coworkers to know what I did, because of the fact that I felt like, because certain people, when you start working with them, how they talk about other people, and
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
times who you can open up to and who you can't. And so for me, it was a big struggle in the very beginning, and I started doing it for free. And then over time, I just conquered those fears, like you said. And I just said, you know what, this is too much, and people are always going to have an opinion. So I said, just forget it. I'm just going to be me, do me, and focus. And if I get backlash, if I get ridiculed, that's not for me to take personal. That's people's perceptions, and just let it bounce off of me or roll off. So that's what I've been doing, and I find that when we're living in our authenticity, um, people love that. My rays of light, and then your followers, your fans, people love that. They love someone that they can relate to, and I feel like that's how they can relate to me and to you, and
Mm-hmm.
to other YouTubers out there like Madame Pamita and a lot of other people that are out there doing their thing in the
That's
spiritual
right.
community, because we are being transparent. Like, this is not a facade. Who I am right now and who you are, I know it's like we keep it real 100% of the time, and so people can relate to that. We're living our life, but it's still hard. I still get a lot of that backlash, and I know that you may get some of that backlash. Do you get any trolling or anything like that? Very bad.
Of
Like,
course.
boy,
I mean, probably not at your level because I could just imagine as it grows, as
yeah,
it grows and grows. But with lives on YouTube, I'm like, oh no, the trolls city
yes, girl,
calling me out of my name, like it's just unreal. But I've been blessed and
yes,
fortunate that in this environment, in Instagram world, in Facebook world, really nice, soft energies.
yes,
YouTube, For the most, part, but a lot of people can hide behind user ID, multi-user ID names, and
Yes.
hide behind, I'm just stating my opinion, or I'm just doing me. But it's like, no, you're kind of just spewing some hate, though. That's what you
Exactly.
really doing.
Yeah, I
Like,
found that the other day because I hadn't done YouTube Live, even though I've been on YouTube for years. I had not done YouTube Live. I've only stuck to Instagram. And the other day, I decided to do YouTube Live, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But there were so many trolls I had to like remove immediately off of the page because they were like commenting, extraneous comments and just trying to start drama with my rays of light, my followers. And I'm like, girl, I'm not having that today, okay? So I was like, you're canceled next. And so I had to just like delete, remove and delete, remove and delete. And it's sad, but I mean, that's the world that we live in. But we're not going to focus on the haters or the negativity, just the positivity. So with your gifts, like, did you have any paranormal experiences, Kim, growing up? Like, when did you first realize you had like spiritual abilities that would be able to be like tie into what you do now?
um, very, very good question for me, because I was thinking about that the other day. My mother's mom, Ella, who my daughter is named after, she was a religious lady, but she also was superstitious, and she believed in ghosts, and she told the most amazing ghost stories. And I would go spend summers in Mississippi when I was growing up as a little girl. And I come from Oakland, California, so I'm a very city girl going to the South each summer. It wasn't pretty, but the amazing part was spending time with my grandmother. And she told me that we had the gift of sight, and it always kind of would jar me, because on my dad's side they had the holy rollers, and they would, like, if they heard my maternal grandmother talking like this, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they would just die. But she was very open about it.
Right.
Like, she would say, like, oh, your mom, she would tell us these great ghost stories about how they would be walking in the night, and like, you couldn't see anything for miles. This is in the South. They would be picking cotton all day. And my mom, who was a little girl, would be able to see dead animals off in the distance, or dead people
Wow.
off in the distance. I don't have that ability,
Right.
and she doesn't even like to really talk about it, but my grandmother would talk about it all the time. My grandmother hated that we lived out here, and she would call us every Sunday. Every Sunday, we all have to talk with her. And when she passed, we had to go and pack up all of her stuff and clear out her apartment.
Hmm.
And we had a hard time with her loss, her passing. And we were getting ready to leave to drive back from Mississippi to California, and the phone rang. This is like back when we started having like cell phones. Everybody had cell phones on the regular. And it was her phone calling us, like her house phone, even though no one's
Yes.
there. We've packed up, we've closed up, there's no one there. And she knew how much my mom and I loved her phone calls each weekend. She was a talker, like I am, I guess. And nobody would be on the end when we picked up. And I remember my mom and I just having chills, and my mom crying. And she, it was that one last little bit. Like,
Yes.
Ella, my grandmother, was like, you have this gift, and I need you to remember that, and I need you to know that I'm okay, and here is that sign.
Yes.
And it's something that my dad was there for, and he's very like pragmatic and doesn't believe in that stuff. And my mom was like, she's still freaked out about it, and she doesn't like talking about it. But
Yeah.
the phone rang. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's my
That's like a
grandmother
sign. That's
calling.
your grandma. Hmm.
Yeah.
I got chills,
So
and other people said they got chills from what you just said. I mean, it's so true. Like, spirit is always among us. That's one of the things that spirit likes to do to me. Is like, that's why I sometimes have to disconnect my home phone. I still have a home phone, but it's a wireless one. But I get calls, and I'm like, hello, and there's no one, or the answering machine will pick up, and there's no one on the line. You just hear like static, 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 and that's spirit. That's how they communicate. They come to me, like, a lot of times just causing interference with my phone. So I'm like, that's it. You know what, guys? I'm unplugging this phone. I'm not having it on. So the majority of the time during the day, I kind of like just disconnected because I get a lot of those calls, and I'm like, who's calling? And there's no caller ID, and it's spirit. That's what my spirit guides have revealed to me in spirit doing that. And they can do that. They can prank call you and just call you just to make sure that, kind of say like, I'm here, make their presence known.
Isn't that a trip? I bet you get like, because like, I love that you are, like, you do mediumship.
Yeah.
And I just eat it up on your channel. This
Like,
is so cool to
one of
me.
the things that I experience like at nighttime when I go to sleep is like either when I close my eyes, I'll start seeing spirits, random ones appear, or sometimes I'm asleep and I can hear like, from like, if I'm a side sleeper, so I sleep to my side, and I will hear as I wind down for the night and I'm laying in bed, I will hear footsteps literally in the air. It's not on the ground, but I can hear the other world, the spirit realm, and hear them walking. And so I hear like on the air, like people are walking definitely on the air. I hear footsteps, and it feels very distant when I hear it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm hearing people walking in my home, in my hall. I'm like, you need to like vacate. This is not rental, You don't need to be here. But no, I'm very, respectful of spirit. But I know that they're there for a reason. They need help. But yes, I can hear them, and it's very hard for me to sleep at night, because I'll wake up like at 1, I'll sleep, and then I'll wake up at 3, and then I'll wake up at 5. I'm like every other 2 hours, I'm like waking up every night, and this has been going on ever since I've come to accept and stop resisting my gifts. And so
Yeah.
I will I don't sleep the same. Like before I started accepting my gifts, I think I would sleep through the whole night, maybe just one time to get up. But now it's like I don't sleep like a full solid, like sleep through and then you wake up early in the morning. I just don't. How do you sleep? Like, do you get up and?
Well, up until June 28th, because I quit my day job.
Yes, girl.
But
That's a
before,
whole.
that's a whole nother soul session. That's a whole nother drama-filled soul session, let me tell you. Love my peeps, but woo. But before that, I got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, on average. That I know they say it's not healthy, but like you said, the life of someone with gifts, it always felt like my brain is on. I
Yes.
used to think I had anxiety or whatever, but no, it's just all that, what is
That
it? Not
channeling,
interference,
that
but
energy, it's just projecting. And it's like people that have gifts don't sleep well at night, or don't sleep at all. And it's like
right.
sometimes you don't feel run down at all because you get so used to it. Like I get used to it. And sometimes I'm like, I get up at 1 in the morning, I'm like on my phone. I shouldn't even be on my phone. And I'm got my glasses on and I'm looking at the phone, and I'm just like, I fall asleep, my phone falls to the floor, then I wake up, and then I'm getting old, Kim. I'm getting old.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I know. It would be so bad. I would fall asleep, right, with the cell phone, scrolling through on the tarot collectors marketplace in
Yeah.
Facebook, right? You have to be careful with that, because somehow if you hit something, it'll be like, yes, me, buy me, I'll buy it. And I'm like, I'll wake up in the morning and then there's people like, you said you were interested. Are you still interested? I'm like, no, God, no.
You were bidding in your have a sleep, have a wake.
Yeah, it was like this. It's like, here's the cell phone. It's like, and then in that is me like about to purchase an expensive ass deck that I have no business.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
no, no, I am so sorry.
That is so me. Like
Yeah.
I've done that before myself. I've been I'm like one night I was on my Facebook and manager's page, like for my professional page, and
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but in my sleep I must have posted some kind of picture, and then in the morning I was like, I woke up and I saw a comment under my post, and it was my name. It was me that had posted. I was like, I didn't have any recollection. Was I sleepwalking?
You sleep
Sleep
swiping and
posting. It's crazy, but let's go ahead and talk about your channel. the giveaways, like you do giveaways, you do readings, or do you do weekly readings on YouTube, daily readings? Like, go ahead and let everyone know what you do, because you're so fabulous, and I want to make sure that we cover that during our time in this video so that people know where to go and what you
Oh
do.
yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank
Welcome.
you so much for that. My Abundant Life Tarot channel on YouTube is filled with unboxing videos. Like you mentioned before, Ray, I love unboxings. And I do readings, weekly readings, monthly readings. The monthlies are by astrological signs, and it might be focused on love or your abundance or career or your general life. And then I always remind people to mix and match. Check out your rising sign, your moon sign, and your, um, uh, what is it? Gosh, sun, rising, moon. And I do readings. I also talk about different topics that may be affecting our tarot community and some how-tos, some tutorials. I like also, since I have such a large plurality of decks, I like to focus in on a card. So let's say we're going to learn about the devil card. So I'll take all the different devil cards from my decks, and we look at the different themes and look at the different images to pick up on different meanings for the devil card, for example. So I have all sorts of stuff going on at Abundant Life Tarot, the
Talking
channel,
about
and
the devil card, there is it true? Like, because I've been told in what I've noticed about that, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it just sparked
no,
something
no,
in
it's
my
okay.
mind that it is the opposite of the Lover's card, but it's just like the darker side to it, right? And
Yes,
a lot of people don't realize that. They see the devil, they think, oh, that's Satan, that's evil, that's demonic, and that's not the interpretation of the devil
that's
card.
right. That's right. Actually, that's it. I remember when I had that realization too about it, and I was like, oh, the devil card isn't always necessarily something that's bad either. Sometimes we need a
Right.
little debauchery and a little, sometimes the cards will come out and say, you need to go out and have some fun. Aren't you going to Vegas? Go have some fun. Yeah, so the devil card isn't always a bad thing. And it is like the opposite of the lovers, and how one minute it could be a choice of love and the lover's card and things are going great. And then somehow it turns into like this negative pattern syndrome of like
Yes.
codependent natures and things and all that, addictive patterns. So yeah, I love the devil card. I love the death card too.
Yeah, the death
So
card, I think it scares everybody, and the devil card, those two cards out of the major arcana in tarot, like they terrify everyone. But I always tell people that like the death card symbolizes a finality in most cases. Sometimes it can symbolize death, in some form or fashion, like a part of ourselves dying or an ending to a relationship, a situation in our life. There's just so many different like facets of an ending or what death can symbolize. It's not always literal in the sense of the Grim Reaper coming for somebody.
right, the Grim Reaper right at your doorstep. Yeah, no. I sometimes welcome it, like especially if you had an ongoing situation and it's like, gosh, is it ever gonna end? And then you see the death card, you're like, oh, hallelujah, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, there's always something happening when there's the death card or the devil card, and it's usually it shakes up our world in some kind of way.
Yeah, that's true. Those big cards like the devil, the death, the tower, it's gonna shake some stuff up. So
So you
don't
said you
be
do
so afraid of it.
on your channel, you do the weekly and you do the monthly, but then you also have your own website, and then you have Etsy,
Yes,
and then on your website you started something new, and I'm just trying to understand. Um, People can become a member. You have different tiers, right? Different levels
that's
of
right.
memberships, and can you go ahead and talk about that so that we can know? So I'm very interested. I need to learn that because I want to join one of your memberships. I've been holding back because I needed this one-on-one to know exactly which one is the best one for me and for
Yeah.
my viewers. They may want to join your membership.
Yes, thank you. So the membership, okay, so with YouTube, there's the YouTube channel, and then there's Abundant Life Tarot Premium on my website. And so there's, the Stargazer level, which is free. you are going to be able to access videos that will eventually make it to YouTube and access different little giveaways and things like that. What this is mostly geared towards, it's like a tarot coaching or coaching through tarot membership, really, because at the top level, at the Cosmic Seers level, built in it is a 30-minute reading each month where people submit their questions. My top tier clients submit their questions. I do readings just like I do for you.
Yes.
Um, but it's more. I'm having content created specific for their needs, their what they're trying to do. Some of them are trying to be YouTubers, or some of them are YouTubers and they're trying to maybe start a membership service, or maybe they want to um, become a professional tarot reader. And I'm kind of showing my little steps of the journey with that,
Right.
just being a mentor and a coach. So it's really like a mentorship slash hang out with your girlfriend slash
Yes.
coaching, a membership, and it's very reasonable in terms of price. It actually probably works out better if you were a member of Cosmic Seer, because you're getting a lot of savings. It's more savings as opposed to a
Right.
reading here or there. If you know that you're going to regularly be getting readings, it is one way to save some cash. But
Yeah,
it's
I
fun.
agree.
I create a lot of content for it because here's the thing about YouTube is that for a smaller channel, you're not, it's a lot of work and they're not paying us a lot, so
Hmm.
I want to be able to create a lot of content, and this is a way for me to be able to support that.
And girl,
So I don't know.
it's hard because being a YouTuber, um, monetization right now, they're being brutal on all of us on and what you can get, to qualify for monetization and how you can get to make money off of your videos, because people don't realize that's our time and energy being spent on our making our videos and our content and pushing that out.
Yeah.
That's why I've opened up donations on my channel. If people want to donate, or when I go live they can donate. In fact, tonight I'm going to be going live on my YouTube channel between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Central
Oh,
Standard
cool.
Time. So if you want to catch me there, you can do that. I'm going to be doing live readings using my oracle cards, and my
Yay.
oracle cards are coming out uh, next month. Well, in September they're being released, but they're will be available for pre-order starting Monday. And I'm going to have all that. So I know, girl, you're going to have to pick up my oracle cards and add them to your
Of
collection.
course.
I've been working so hard on them, and I'm so proud, Kim. I can't tell you, but I'm gonna go. I don't want to disrespect you and talk about me. It's not about me, but on your
No, no.
your cosmic seer, I'm interested. You said you do 30-minute personalized video. Is that like you said? People like members can submit their questions to you, and then you do personalized videos every week for them, or once a month?
Yep,
Is it
that's
once a
right.
month or every week?
No, once a month. So what they'll do is I have the Cosmic Seers corner, and then they
Okay.
come in and it has like a little questionnaire where you put in your questions, and they just like clockwork put in their questions, and just like if you were coming to Etsy and booking a reading,
Okay.
except that they're, because like for example, I have a client who I'm really working with, and she has questions. She knows that she's going to have readings every single month because she's working through something right now ongoing. So this is like the membership way of being able to offer her
I love
savings
that.
and to continue. Yeah.
So
So
it's not the
it's
membership.
just
It's
like
not just like some people, sign up, they get readings from you. It's like you are kind of like acting like the coach or the mentor to them and helping them. And it's an all inclusive package. You said that some of the videos that are going to eventually make it to YouTube, like the ones that are for everyone, they get the first preview or content, like the first screening, like a movie that's being
yep,
pre-released. They get the pre-release, or they get to screen it before it actually gets pushed
that's
out
right.
into YouTube. I love it. You're so creative. Like, how did you think of that? Like, did you come just
I just was like, I want my website to be more dynamic, and like I want people to first come to my website first if they want to see content from me, not
yes,
necessarily go to outside entities like YouTube or Facebook. I want them to come to my website first. We invest a lot, like you say, in our channel, but also on our website. And so I just didn't want it sitting dormant. I'm like, this is a way to get people involved in tarot. And I
Yes.
have folks who, in my regular everyday life, going through the Stargazer, membership level, it's free. And this is their first kind of foray in tarot and oracle, and they're loving it. And they like, they get access to discount codes and giveaways that wouldn't necessarily be for the larger public. And um, I just, I think a lot of people, creators, should start having it where have your people's funnel through your sites first and then go out to, YouTube or
Yes.
what have you, in my opinion. But,
No,
what
I
do I
agree with you
know?
100% because when I first started off, I had my website and then I also had Etsy. But I noticed not a lot of traffic was going on Etsy at certain times. It's very slow. Like you said, it's so much, it's a plethora. It's like Amazon. It's like the sister of Amazon, but for the spirit world when it comes to like tarot readings and stuff. And so I had listings on Etsy, but it was like, and they're really cheap and affordable to list something on Etsy, like 14 cents a month. I don't know, they've gone up now, but um,
Yeah, like 20 cents.
and so then I had the website, and that's worked out really great as well. But I like the packages, and so crazy that you mentioned that and that you have that offering because my friend Ted, who I interviewed, Ted Huff, he had also suggested that I should do something similar of the tiers, but I like have a tier level or like a membership level, but I haven't had the time to kind of sit down and do that. The world is very crazy right now, very busy.
Oh,
But
I know.
I'm going to be joining your membership. I'm thinking I'm going to go for the cosmic one because like you said, I'm doing it monthly. Might as well just get it, a membership, and I can preview things. I'm also going to be doing like you actually inspired me to get on Vimeo, and so I'm going to be doing like some training of how to do psychic readings or
Oh, nice.
how to develop your psychic abilities and your mediumship abilities. And I'm going to have that content specifically on Vimeo where they can sign up and pay a certain fee to view these classes and at any time, because I feel like even though I could do it for free, I already do enough content on YouTube that it's for free, and it doesn't hurt to have like an even exchange because it is time and energy. And so
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from on doing these tier levels because it's a lot of work when you really think about what you're doing. You're setting down, you're being a personal coach, a mentor, you're doing readings, you're providing content that is going to be pushed out to YouTube eventually, but they get, the first preview. That's work and that's dedication. So I really, really enjoy that. Which would you say is like the most popular tier right now for you or membership level?
Probably, surprisingly, obviously the Stargazer because it's free, but the Rebel Soul level, which is more of, that is not built in with the reading each month, but that level is for, we still kind of do some coaching of each other in terms of readings like that are geared towards rebel activism. Maybe our clients are more of from that stock. They're
Yes.
activists. They are passionate about certain causes, and they use tarot as a tool and a means to be able to do a lot of healing and outreach, especially on issues that are affecting our communities. So that one actually surprised me that was more popular, but the Cosmic Seer has the built-in reading each month to it, and the Rebel Soul level does not. But the Rebel Souls also, there's a high concentration of tarot readers in that level too, so they could probably just throw their own cards. So
Yes.
that makes sense too.
And
So,
do you
but
do
yeah.
custom readings for people like that want like a custom reading? I mean, do you have those requests? Like, do you ever get those kind of requests? They want like a
Oh,
custom
yes.
reading.
Yes, I do. People will send me a message through Instagram or Etsy or something. They'll say, I want a career reading, and these are the questions. And I'm like, okay, great. I love that. I love building spreads or building questions for
Yes.
tarot readings. That's one of my most favorite things to do. So I like customized readings, and I get that's the bulk of it. Sometimes they'll be like they want love readings. I say 70% of the time that's what folks want, but the good percentage of folks is about career, and they just give me the question, and then I make the little spread or the follow up.
And then do you when you run sales from time to time on Etsy? So I've noticed that does signing up, I guess, on your website for one of these membership levels, does it help them get become aware? Like, do they receive an email when you're running a sale, or how does that work?
Yes, you'll be receiving notices regularly, like the newsletters that I do. I do like a monthly update or newsletter about
Um,
sales. We have a giveaway going on, I forgot to mention.
oh, you do giveaways on
Because
there too, on the memberships?
yes,
Oh, girl.
I do. So that is also, and of course, there's decks thrown into
Yes.
it because of, well, totally makes sense. Crystals.
Yeah.
I make like smudge sprays, or I might make some jewelry for folks to
Yeah, I
include
noticed
into the
that you do that on
giveaways.
your website or your listings on Etsy. You've started including other things. You're expanding. It's not just readings that you offer, but also crystals and sprays and things like that. So I've noticed that, and I'm really glad. I bought some of your Lemurian crystals that you've sold in the past, and yeah, Kim is like, she is expanding. I'm also expanding. In fact, I have a sale running all this week on all of my readings, except for emergency readings. I offer emergency readings because sometimes people can't wait the time period that I offer,
Oh,
which
for
is 7 to
sure.
21 business days. And so that's a long period to wait. And some people want it there and then. So I offer emergency readings. That's the only one that's not on sale because, girl, if I had emergency readings on sale, I would be like, within 72 hours, I probably have like 60 people waiting for me to get all their
Yeah,
readings in.
they'd
And
have to have little.
Ray Ray just can't do that. I can't. So I'm like, that's the only one. I had someone ask me the other day, like, why don't you put that one on sale? You said all readings, but I didn't put the clause emergency readings were the exception.
Right.
Uh, but obviously I had to explain to that person, I can't do that. That's unreasonable, unfathomable. So I have that. And I also am offering crystals, pendants with they're crystal necklaces on my website. And now I'm going to be, hi, Melanie. I'm going to be offering today, posting some bracelets that I
Nice.
bought that so I'm going to be offering some gemstone bracelets. They're like cuff bangles, really, really cool. I'm going to have them for an affordable price, and I'm just expanding that. And then of course my oracle cards as well. And for you, do you have any sales this month right now going on?
Probably at this particular point, no, not as of yet, but there will be definitely sales going on for next month
Okay.
because I usually tie them into like Labor Day, and it's usually like a 2 week long sale. So
Yes.
definitely keep a lookout for that, folks. And then definitely check out the giveaway because that I do have going on right now, and I'm excited about that. And it's a giveaway
Okay, and guys,
of.
I wanted to tell you one thing before talking about bragging about Kim, because she is just awesome. I've said that enough already but I have to continue and say that no, really, truly, Kim, a lot of the things that you've told me about the predictions that you made for me in our readings, they have come to pass, and it's scarily accurate. Like, I always get told that by people when I do readings, but it's like hearing it, like actually experience it from someone else. That's why I keep going back to you, because a lot of the predictions that you've made for me have come to pass. And yeah, someone said Kim is the best ace of tarot. She really is. When it comes down
Oh,
to
thank
tarot
you.
readers, Kim to me is a 10. If we're on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest or not, and 10 being the best of the best, Kim is the best of the best. She's a 10. And I tell you that she combines her intuitive abilities with the cards and the predictions and the insight, not just predictions, but the insight that she gives you. It all comes to play. Like, she's done readings, and like in a month or two from now, like she said, this person, you're going to look out for this or look out for that or this, and it all comes to pass. And it's so scarily like, but it's not scary. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way, on a bad connotation. I mean, it is just so accurate. It's amazing. So y'all definitely have to check her out. Like I said,
Oh, thank you.
go to her website, go on Etsy. Again, it's
Yeah.
abundantlifetarot.com.
Yeah.
That in your Etsy shop. How can they find you on Etsy? Just type in Abundant Tarot
Yeah.
shop.
If you now, I tried yesterday. If you type in Abundant Life Tarot, you will find
I'm
me
like,
there,
how
or
do you
Abundant
say
Life
it?
Shop.
Tarot. Some people say
I
tarot and tarot. And I'm like, it's tomatoes. It's all the
Yeah,
same.
you
If you
see it
don't get it,
however. I like to change it up too. I do it too. I'm like, I'd like to see if people catch it. Tarot, tarot, you know, like, so yeah, find me on abundantlifetarot.com for the website and Abundant Life Shop for Etsy. But if you type in Abundant Life Tarot in the Etsy search, you'll find me there too.
I love you, Kim, and I love what you're doing in your platform and everything that you are bringing to the table. I guess because we have maybe about 4 minutes before it starts cutting us off. I guess like the last question that I have for you is like if you could give any or impart any wisdom or advice to any viewer right now that is listening, because I'm going to be posting this on Instagram and also on my YouTube channel. If you could impart any advice to any aspiring spiritualist or someone who is a tarot reader that wants to step into this kind of world, what would you give them? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would say intuition first. And I remember hearing that a lot when I first started doing tarot readings, where they were like, you have to be able to look at the cards and have your, you know, and your intuition is important, even above the book meanings. And it used to bother me. I'm like, oh, that used to frustrate me. I don't know why it frustrated me. But now I get it, because after a while, you'll start to study the tarot and get yourself a good tarot deck that has keywords like these.
Oh, I like
You'll
that.
get the basic meanings.
What are those called? What's the name of those?
Tarot with Keywords by Lynn Boyle on Etsy. And she even has different.
You said tarot with
e-cards? It's tarot with keywords.
Keywords, okay.
And so and then you have the reverse. Or you could just take your own deck, your own Rider-Waite, and just write the keywords and just do that. But do that, get comfortable with the cards, get comfortable with looking at the images, and then whenever you're in a reading with a friend and you get an intuitive hit, say it. Even if it doesn't make sense, you're like, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it. And you say it, oftentimes, 9 out of 10 times,
you're right,
it's going to resonate with the person.
And you have to trust first. Your intuition. Trust what Spirit is giving you. All right, Kim. So I want to thank you so much, sweetheart, for doing this live with me. I want to do another one in the future. Maybe you can host me on your channel. I want to do more because there's not enough time in this hour to like focus on everything. But I want to do one to go in depth on tarot reading and like we can talk about cards and the different meanings on cards, because I want to learn from you. And not only that, I think it would be good for our viewers and stuff. So I definitely want to do another live with you together in the future. And of course, offline, we'll discuss that. But thank you so much for being here. And thank you all of Kim's fans, all of my fans, all our followers and supporters. We love you so, so much. Have a wonderful day, Kim, and God bless you.
God bless you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.